Good morning. I'm meteorologist Kevin Smith here at the National Weather Service in Pocatello with your weather hazard briefing, kicking off the weekend here for Saturday, August 23rd for Southeast Idaho. We have a big pattern change on the horizon, and this image kind of gives it away here. Is that moisture possibly coming our way? We've had a very long streak of dry conditions with no measurable rainfall here at the Pocatello Airport. All of that is going to come crashing to an end here in just a couple days as we see a big push of monsoon moisture from the south coming up over our forecast area. So let's start to discuss that just a little bit here as we look over the next 5 days or so. Key points. First, still mostly hot and dry conditions holding on for the weekend. That will especially be true today. That'll still be true for most of you on Sunday, although we will start to increase a chance of a few showers and thunderstorms in the south. We'll look at that here in just a moment. We'll see another little push here of some regional wildfire smoke increasing tonight into Sunday, so that may be noticeable for some of you out there if you're keeping an eye to the sky. And then beyond that, big push of monsoon moisture on the way. It's going to start to creep into the southern highlands on Sunday, but everyone is going to see this starting Monday and continuing through the rest of the week, and that's going to bring higher humidity, increased cloud cover, cooler temperatures, and widespread shower and thunderstorm activity, at least during each afternoon and evening period. Right now, we're still working on amounts. We're seeing a little bit of an increasing trend in potential rainfall amounts, and it looks like Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is looking like the wettest period, where some of our mountain regions may see over an inch of rainfall out of this particular pattern here over that 3-day period. So probably starting tomorrow, we'll dig into some more specific amounts as far as what this rainfall might look like. And we're not saying it's going to be a daily washout everywhere, but we're going to be seeing quite a bit of shower and thunderstorm activity out there, particularly compared to what we've seen here over the past month or so. So here it comes on the weather risk outlook. First, maybe an isolated shower or thunderstorm today down in the Cache County region in particular. Again, this monsoon push of moisture is still south of Idaho for the next day and a half. So we may see a storm, kind of a dry-leaning thunderstorm creeping up here toward maybe Oakley or Malta, Juniper Interchange area. And remember, it's still quite hot and dry out there. So if we do see a storm down in that region, there's a chance you could see some gusty outflow winds and some lightning and not much rainfall out of it. We're not quite in business yet. As we move forward to Sunday, though, we start to bring in just a taste of that new pattern, a taste of that new air mass coming across the border from Utah. That'll support at least some isolated showers and thunderstorms here in portions of the Magic Valley, down across the South Hills and Raft River region, down across the Southeast Highlands and Bear Lake as well. And then we are in business Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, not yet shown on this outlook, for daily chances of scattered to widespread showers and thunderstorms. Again, along with more cloud cover, more humidity. It's definitely going to feel much different out there compared to what we've been seeing. No watches, warnings, or advisories in effect right now for most of the region as things are fairly quiet. Current satellite loop can certainly see the stage is set here. We have cloud cover spinning to our south here as you get into portions of the Four Corners region, a little bit of Utah and Nevada as well. So the moisture is pooling. The monsoon push is starting well to the south of Idaho, but still leaving most of our forecast area here with mostly clear skies as we kick off your Saturday morning. We'll see a slight increasing trend in some high-level clouds starting to drift into the region today, but nothing too impactful. And with that, nothing yet this far north on radar. Again, it should be mostly hot and dry today as we don't yet have that push into the region. You can see some activity, though, well to our south on the radar. Not really expecting severe weather today, but this map does show a good, kind of a good depiction of where we have the best chance of maybe an isolated, dry-leaning thunderstorm during the afternoon and early evening hours today. You can see most of the region stays dry, but if you're down to the south of Burley, particularly in Cassia County, probably west of Holbrook, we'll have to keep an eye out for maybe a storm with some lightning strikes or some gusty outflow winds, and not a lot of rainfall out of that, but not yet looking at any chance of excessive rainfall or heavy rainfall out of this activity just yet. As we go into Sunday, you can see that we expand the green. Here comes the push from the south, still dry across the Central Mountains and probably still fairly dry from the Shoshone area up the Snake Plain corridor. So we're still leaning hot and dry for most of you on Sunday, but down here across the southern highlands and the Bear Lake region, increasing chances for at least isolated showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon. It'll start to feel a bit more humid as well. Not completely sold that we'll see much activity yet up into Island Park and Driggs. This graphic might be a little optimistic there. May have to wait for Monday. And remember, by Monday, the entire region will be under this monsoon push with a chance of showers and thunderstorms continuing each day for the whole rest of the week. Excessive rainfall outlook for Sunday still generally holding south of the border, and we'll see this continue to expand northward as we get into Monday and beyond. Let's take a look at what the temperatures are going to do under this pattern. So very similar to what we saw for your Friday, almost a carbon copy for the forecast today. Mostly sunny skies. You see lots of 90s in the forecast here across the region. As usual, some spots in the mountains will hold in the 80s, expecting about 94 in Pocatello, 95 in Twin Falls, even up to Rexburg, 91 degrees for this afternoon. Tomorrow, just a few degrees off. Remember, we're starting to increase those showers and thunderstorms to the south of the Snake Plain, and with that will come some cloud cover. So you can see down here we're losing several degrees. We're holding in the 80s to the south, but still some 90s here up the Snake Plain corridor in places like Chalice and Salmon as well. So not a big change yet for most of you on Sunday. It's really going to be Monday onward that we start to hack away at those temperatures. This is due to more cloud cover in place. This is due to more shower and thunderstorm activity during the afternoon. So you can see 70s in the mountains, 80s in lower elevations on Monday, and we'll continue to slowly cool Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Here's just a look at Tuesday's readings, backing off to about 80 to 83 degrees at some of our lower elevation population centers for afternoon highs, and we'll get even cooler by Wednesday. For fire weather partners, not much of any wind on the horizon here for the next few days, but let's take a look at what this air mass is going to look like as far as relative humidity. And you can see most of the region will be what we call critical for relative humidities today. Again, we're still under a hot and dry air mass. Many areas 10 to 15% for minimum afternoon relative humidity values, but without much wind, so we don't have a red flag warning in effect. Watch how these values change stepping into Sunday. Okay, not a huge change, only a few percentage points here up across the Central Mountains, up into the Arco Desert and Island Park areas. Still not that far off from critical, but down here across the south, we're going to see more 25 and 30% humidity values for our driest readings on Sunday afternoon. By Monday, big push of moisture, lowest relative humidity readings during the afternoon, only getting down to 35 to 45% down here in the south, still infiltrating that moisture into the northern sections here. And then by Tuesday, the entire region only getting as dry as about 35 to 50% on those relative humidities. So this is going to be a significant, a noticeable push of monsoon moisture, really the first organized push that we've had this summer for southeast Idaho. Certainly looking forward to some rainfall. This is the latest drought monitor map covering the state of Idaho, and you can see here, focusing in on southeast Idaho, most of the region has been upgraded to severe drought conditions. A few areas still shaded in for moderate drought, but severe drought for the majority of our forecast area. So certainly we could use some rainfall to start putting a damper on our fire season, put a damper on the drought conditions, and maybe we'll get a little bit of relief here this week out of this impending monsoon pattern. So that's what we have to talk about today. Again, hot and dry, holding on for most of the weekend, but we're transitioning into that big push of moisture. Expect a lot more clouds and a lot more shower and thunderstorm activity over the bulk of the upcoming week. If you have questions, comments, concerns, we're here 24/7, and everyone have an outstanding Saturday.